It's the big developing story this Friday morning. One police officer and an army jawan have lost their lives in the firing that is still on inside the army camp in the Uri sector of Kashmir's Baramulla district. Reports suggest that it could have been a suicide attack. Baramulla, remember, goes to vote in the third phase of elections in the valley on December the 9th. The Prime Minister is also going to be in Srinagar on Sunday, and the attack comes despite security measures that have in fact been taken. Security is at an all-time high in the valley. The first two phases recorded a record 71% voter turnout, and the attack is being seen as an attempt to spread panic ahead of the next phase of elections. Six terrorists were gunned down on Tuesday after a three-day-long encounter in Naugam. Before phase 2 of the elections, the terrorists were able to survive for that long with the help of sophisticated weapons and equipment. And today, 3 days ahead of the third phase of elections, we're reporting an audacious attack on the army camp in the Uri sector of Baramulla. This clearly is an attempt to scare voters, given the fact that in the first two phases of elections in Jammu and Kashmir, there has been a record unprecedented voter turnout of around 70% voters. The latest that is coming in the big developing story that we're tracking from poll-bound Jammu and Kashmir is that one police officer and an army jawan have in fact lost their lives in the firing that is still continuing inside the army camp in the Uri sector of the Baramulla district. Reports suggest that this could perhaps be a suicide attack. There are sketchy details though still emerging. Baramulla, remember, goes to vote in the third phase of elections in the valley on December the 9th. Deputy Editor Shiv Arur now joins me for more on this story. Shiv, one police officer and an army jawan have been killed. What's the latest?
Oh, the information that we're getting is that there was an infiltration a few days ago. Information still being ascertained about whether this is a fresh infiltration of militants or whether this was a suicide attack after a particular militant actually branched off from an earlier infiltration that may have happened in the Uri or Kupwara area, Rishika. Now, at this point of time, the only information we do have, and it's not officially confirmed just yet, is that a policeman and an army jawan have been killed in this particular suicide attack. A very, very disturbing development because what it does, it confirms the modus operandi that has been predicted from at least the last 4 to 5 infiltrations that have been seen. Remember, in the Arnia encounter, Rishika, last week, one of the terrorists actually had a suicide vest on, and the report that's been submitted, by the BSF and the army to the Unified Command on that particular attack says that suicide attacks, infiltrations, during the political season and the elections in Jammu and Kashmir into crowded areas during political rallies could be the norm, could be what these terrorists are looking to do. And even in this particular case, it appears that it was a suicide attack.
Right.
The exact details are still being ascertained. In the next 5 to 6 minutes, I'm going to have much more details.
All right, sketchy details emerging at this point in time, but what we can confirm to our viewers is that one police officer and an army jawan have been killed in the firing that is still underway inside an army camp in the Uri sector of the Baramulla district. Shuja ul Haq is also joining us live at this point in time. Shuja, take us through the latest that you're hearing.
Well, Rishika, this incident has happened inside the very army camp, and what we're learning at this point of time is at least 2 people have been, killed. One army man and one policeman have been, reported dead in this, and we're also given to understand that there were various injuries. There were many people who were injured. In fact, initially when they got to know about the incident, there was an input about a possible fire inside the camp, and that's why a deputy superintendent of police rank officer with his escort had gone in, and then they realized that there were people alive inside, and they were firing at them. This policeman is in fact the escort of this deputy superintendent of police, and we've been told that 2 or 3 more policemen have been injured in this, and there are various injuries which have been inflicted on the other army personnel as well. So the death toll could go up, but as of now, the clarity, we have not been able to get exact clarity on the number of people who are dead or who are injured or critical.
All right,
Firing
as
is still
Shiv
on.
and Shuja have in fact been pointing out to us that the details of that encounter, which is currently underway at this point in time, are very sketchy. But as Shuja has been pointing out, that there are several others who are believed to have sustained injuries. The nature of those injuries at this point in time is not known to us. One police officer and one army jawan have lost their lives in this encounter, the firing that is still underway. I'd like to go back to Shiv at this point in time. All right, I'd like to go back to Shuja at this point in time. Shuja, was there any specific intel at all of, such an attack? Was this at all anticipated, given the fact that we have seen encounters in Nagaum and Arnia take place in the past 10 days?